Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Rabbit Hole.
Hey y'all.
How's it going? Um, Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about dance.
We're gonna swap roles from last week. So I get to play the griller and he gets to talk to us about his hobby of dancing.
It's
So you
true.
want to just get started, or is there anything you would like to start us off with?
I'll just say that dancing is a blast, and I'm going to try to convince people listening to get into dancing as best as I can. That's ultimately the goal. I might share a little bit of my story, but that's kind of the goal. So
All right. So we're getting a persuasive essay kind of from Ben.
absolutely.
All right. Brings me back to the 5 paragraph days. Uh, all right. So I guess let's just start with the kind of what got you interested in dancing, or how did you and why did you decide that this was a hobby or something that you wanted to spend precious free time on?
Mm, Great question.
Thank you.
Um, well, it really started, way back in the day. So just my natural um, interests are like skills and challenges and stuff. And I always view dancing as one of those things that is like, it's embarrassing. It's like when you don't know what's going on, like all the school dances. It's just like, and like in the back of my mind, I'm like, I hate this. This is so like it's anxiety producing. It's not fun. It's stressful. I have this extreme obligation to go out on the dance floor and make a fool of myself. And I feel like that's where everybody starts, unless you're like grew up dancing. Um, and so that's kind of how I had the mentality of like, I'm going to beat this. I'm going to break this, and I'm going to be comfortable dancing. And so even going from like homecomings in like ninth and 10th grade, just like I'm gonna go out there and just try it, even though if I'm gonna put a smile on my face and I'm gonna commit. And then like proms, like same thing, and then like wanting to, and then getting a few group like a group of people to like try to be the hype man and like make it fun, and try to make it enjoyable. And just over time, and then going to college, I slowly, so like homecoming and prom and some of the social dances in high school, I would do it, anxiety, but I was just force myself to do it. And so that was kind of my first introduction to dance. I would look up YouTube videos to learn like the SpongeBob or the worm or the the wave, stuff like that. So I just have a few tricks up my sleeve, and that was always fun to pull out. And then I go to college, and in college every month there's Shag Night, which is part of Crew at NC State. They're the main ones that go. And so I would go and do that, and it was the same type feeling. Like, all right, I'm just gonna go. It's what you do. Everybody's doing it. I'm just gonna go out there and try, put a smile on my face, and you know. So that's what I did, and just kind of like whatever, nothing too crazy about it. Still like a challenge. Still like I'm going to enjoy it whether I like it or not. Um, and then it all changed. It all changed when my uncle, right during Christmas break, my senior year, he's like, "Well, have you thought about dancing, um, partner dancing specifically, which is a lead and a follow?" And when he said it, I know that he's very well read. I know that he um, is well read on science and biology and all, just overarching, just brilliant man. So that made me think, okay, maybe there's something to this. And so I signed up like a week later to modern dance. And so I went the first day, and it was there were people. It was more like it's like a history of dance, and there was all like female dance uh, people, and we were doing things like with our arm draped over, and all these things that I didn't feel comfortable with. Exactly. It made me feel very feminine. And so I was like, maybe this is not the class for me. So I switched over to social dancing.
So was this an actual, let me just jump in. Was this an actual college course or it was something you were doing at night, or this was like a health and physical education?
This is a school sanctioned health and physical education
Okay.
class with a syllabus, with grades.
Right.
It's an elective for a PE. And so
Right
I took it for fun.
Right. So we switched to social dance.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then and that was the first time where I was like, okay, maybe this isn't that bad. It's not that scary. It's fun. Because the teacher, and this just goes back to pretty much everything. If you have a guide or a mentor or somebody that can guide you through, specifically like a teacher or anything, they can set up goals. They can set up your responsibilities and assumptions. That makes it fun and it makes it accessible and achievable. And so it's like low hanging fruit. So we did that. All the moves were pretty simple. Everybody started off the same playing field. So no one knew how to dance. There's like 20 of us or 30 of us, 15 guys, 15 girls. And that's like, oh, this is fun. This is enjoyable. And then we did that until COVID shut it down. And so then I still had that kind of was the first time I really enjoyed it. I was like, this is fun. And so when it got cut short, I was wanting more. So fast forward a little bit, and I decided to move to Austin, Texas. And so I get down there, and I have a family friend down there, and he's a native Texan, so he knows how to dance. And we went to a College Station at Texas A&M. There's a bar called Hurricane Harry's, and this was totally different than what I'd experienced at NC State. It's a bar that has it's 2 dance floors. There's actual dance floors that people go and they're supposed to dance. And then the nerves were back again. I had no idea what I was doing, like just complete out of my element, like, oh gosh. So I had to restart the whole thing. Just, I do not belong here. I have no idea what I'm doing. Totally different culture. But I had a friend that had already done it and he knew people. So that was another way in, and like how important it is to have those people that can guide you and like show you around and help you. So Cole Miller played a huge role in that. And he took me twice, and luckily he had some good friends that were very easy on me and didn't like roast me. And then after that, I knew it was what I wanted to do, because I knew I would like it because of my previous experience, like in college and different stuff. And so then I went on and moved to Austin and started going. I went by myself a few times, and same thing, a few really nice people. They could tell I was like a deer in the headlights. I just was like, I just showed up not knowing anything, and they kind of took me in, and like, it was just nice. They were easy on me and they didn't roast me, which is a huge role, because having people that are supportive. And then after that, I was hooked even more, and I just kept going, and I would go once a week, and then after a while I would go twice a week, and then I ended up getting a monthly subscription to a dance studio, and I was going every day for a month and taking private lessons and taking group lessons. And then that's when I felt like it took that long to be able to be like, I actually enjoy this now. Like, it's not a chore. It's not something that I'm striving for. It's like, I like it. Dancing's fun. Like, it's a good time. I'm able to listen to the music. And like, I think that's so important to say, because at least when I got into it, I see all these people dancing, having fun. And it's just like, in my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, they're just good at dancing. They just know how to dance. I suck at dancing. I don't know how to dance.
Right.
And so like, that's the mentality I feel like everybody has with something they don't know. It's like, I'm not a good singer. I don't do that. And so these I am statements that really pigeonhole people.
Yes.
And to know what's really going on, like to know the actual amount of time that people put into it. And this is why I'm saying all this whole story is, it took that long. It took so many steps to get to where I enjoy dancing, of like, having a teacher having a group of people that didn't know that we were all in it together, then having a friend that introduced me to the dance scene, and then having a group of people that were willing to take me in, and then having the dance community like giving me a bracelet and saying like, hey, you can do the competition, go out there and do it, it's okay if you don't know anything, just go out and have fun. And like it's just like you have to have people in your life that kind of push you and give you the encouragement that you need, and I needed that. And it makes dancing, it's made it to where I really enjoy dancing because of all the people I've met along the way as well. And I'm still doing it now, but that's just the story of me getting to the point where I was really enjoying it.
So just kind of refine for me, like how long was that amount of time between when you started? So what are you, let's say start point is like January 2020-ish. And then you obviously took a break because of COVID, and then moved to Austin early 2021. Is that right? There. About how much would you say, could you ballpark maybe hours that went into it before you kind of made the transition? And was it one day you showed up and you just suddenly enjoyed it, or was it kind of it progressed and every day didn't feel as daunting, and then that eventually became tolerable, and then that eventually became enjoyment?
Great question again. So I think I went a little bit of the more aggressive, like I'm going to master this skill approach, which looking back, it's about the music and it's about the people, that it's about the friendships and the people that you do it with that make it enjoyable. So I went a little intense on that part. So looking back, I would change that. But it definitely took me like focus. I treated it took me focus. I can't say exactly, but I think you could enjoy it. If you're going with good friends, you can enjoy it the first night. Like you can really enjoy something if you're with the right people in the right setting. But your relationship with dancing itself, I think that can take a while. So I think 6 months. I'm ballparking. I really don't know, but I mean, you have to. It's a language. Like people say, you learn a language in like 4 to 6 months, 6 months, 3 months, something like that. Just depends on how immersed you are in the culture. Something like that, I would say.
And so what exactly was it about dancing that attracted you? Like, was it the coordination? Was it that you wanted to overcome? And I think everyone can relate a little bit to what you're saying about those god awful middle school dances that nobody knows anything, and you're just like awkwardly swaying around trying to make it work. So do you think it was like do you think it was a comfort seeking mechanism in a way? I feel like I recall when you were into jujitsu, it was something that you had noticed was a recurring theme in journaling or entries or whatever you want to call it. So was dancing kind of like that? Like you noticed it was something you'd been interested in for a long time? Like just was it a combination of things? Can you just talk through that?
Yes. It was definitely a combination of things. I think at the beginning it started off as a challenge. And then I had a few like reasons why I should choose this over all the other things I should do.
Oh, okay.
So take, for example, video games. They're very attractive to a lot of men, a lot of boys, but it's missing a lot of things about it. It's social, but it's not physical. It's not like outdoors. It's not really learning. I mean, it can be to a degree, but so it has some limits to it. Jiu-jitsu and dance, which are the two sports I chose, they're physical. So we as humans need physical touch. We need to interact with people. It's reality. It's like you're actually communicating with people. And also for anybody that has like, it breaks a lot of the barriers of talking with women and just asking, like just going up in conversation. It's just like rapid fire. So that's really helpful. It's a learning aspect. So then if you're always going to get the novelty factor of like dancing, there's always new moves. It's a complicated world. The world dance is not just partner dancing. It's like hip hop, like solo dancing. There's tons of different partner dancing. So it's just like unlimited amounts of learning if that's your thing. And the social aspect. It's like you get to meet people, you get to talk to people, and all of those things combined was really gave me rational reasons to choose dancing over other things. I think there's some science about it and whatnot that I read. I don't know off the top of my head, but it seemed like a wise choice to get into. And it's just a good skill to know. I was also thinking long term, what skills are the least perishable? So some skills you lose as you age. Like when your body is not, let's say you're not as healthy as you were for whatever reason, you could have gotten an injury doing jujitsu. Well, now you can do dancing, and dancing is not only good, it's good for your future, like for you and your future partner to do something for like just fun, it's just fun, and you're listening to music at the same time. It musical too. That's another thing about dancing. It's musical. Everyone loves music, and you can choose what music you listen to while you're dancing. And that's the whole point of dancing, is like you pick songs that you love and you get to listen to them in a more embodied way. It's great. So just there's a lot to it, but that went into me making the decision. And once I committed, I was like, okay, I'm gonna stick it out until I enjoy it.
So what do you think you've learned from dancing, or what skills have you gained? Like, obviously, let's just take the technical skills at face value here and say, yes, of course you've picked up those skills, but I'm thinking more character building or social skills, or maybe even confidence. Like, what do you think dancing has afforded you?
I'd say first and foremost, just the ability to go up to a girl and just either have a conversation or just like it's fun to like, it gives you something to do. Like it's an option to say like, I like this song, I think it'd be really fun to dance with you with it. And just not being afraid to ask a woman to dance, or just even when you can ask somebody to dance, it also opens up the door for just conversation in general. I think that's something that's big. I was pretty it just takes guts at the beginning. It takes guts.
Mhm.
And I remember specifically sitting there at the dance hall, like I'm out of my element. I didn't go with friends. And I was just like, I am in more stress just sitting here than not talking. It was the city was new, everything was new. So I was like, I'm just gonna go up and start asking people to dance, because that's at least I'm doing something. And so I would just rapid fire, and then it only took like a few weeks, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, to be like, I suck at dancing, I don't really have anything to offer, but I'm comfortable asking people to dance. And I was like, that was easy. Like it's easy after you've done it. Like 3 weeks in, I was like, okay, I think I got it. That was one really good skill. Also, I think it's a good social thing to do that doesn't require like alcohol or drugs or anything.
Mm.
It's fun on its own, and it's good for your health. So it's like, I think it's just a great activity to do at like especially for like nightlife, because there's not many other options that don't involve, I mean, like board games with your close friends, but to meet people, like it's just, yeah, you can't beat it.
So if anyone is interested in like starting dancing and maybe has no idea where to start, what would you advise?
I would say there's all types of dancing. I'm going to be a proponent of partner dancing specifically, but it really depends on what music you like. Do you like the old style of like big band music? Is that like, do you really enjoy that? And then East Coast swing could be your thing. And then do you like more of like the R&B, hip hop, stuff like that? Then West Coast swing could be your thing. Do you like country? Then country swing or two-step could be your thing. And like if you want to learn the waltz or foxtrot, that's more like maybe a Frank Sinatra, or like it's just, you can get or like, a lot of people love the idea of like the Beauty and the Beast, like the waltz, that's a classic. So like, well, you could learn that. I would say start off ideally, and we don't live in an ideal world, so you're not going to be able to hit all the things, or you could, but just it's rare. As just make it social, find friends that you enjoy being around, and just start small, get easy wins. I would say take lessons. Every city's different. Specifically Austin and Charlotte are very different. That's my experience. And just go, you can understand a lot better if you go to a teacher. And so you can Google like partner dance. It takes a while to Google, but like Facebook groups, you can go to Facebook groups. You can go to just like type in dance. A lot of them are going to be like, elementary school girls dance academies or whatever, but you can funnel through that. And private lessons. This is for every skill, by the way, literally every skill, and even teaching, like you have group lessons and private lessons basically, and YouTube for just like entertainment purposes. Group lessons are only going to get you so far, but they're fun, especially at the beginning, because you get to meet people. And then private lessons is where you can kind of understand what's going on more. But I would say find the music you like, just get plugged in. All you have to do is find one person that's in the scene and they can direct you. So sometimes you have to just go to the place first and ask questions there, because those are the people that know. I did that a lot, and I ended up, they were direct. Oh yeah, they love to give you advice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sometimes you do have to just make the leap of faith and just go at least one night and then just start talking to people, even if you don't dance. So in Charlotte right now, I'm dancing at Lynn's every Tuesday, 7 p.m. for West Coast Swing. They do a lesson. Usually a lot of them, they'll do a lesson and then they'll dance. So that's my advice is you might have to take a leap of faith, but group lessons are a lot of fun. Find people that you like dancing with, dance to music that you like, because that's the whole point.
Yeah. I think that's also relevant. And like, I know that this is centered around dancing, but just applicable to every skill, basically. Like, make it fun, make it sustainable, and just being able to have that beginner's mentality of just like, you're not going to know everything, and that's okay. And no one's expecting you to, like, no one's expecting you to show up and be perfect on night one, because how could you?
I agree. You really have to set the expectations of like, I'm a beginner. I'm not going to be as good as these other people, and that's okay. It takes time. That's one of the biggest hurdles for me, is I wanted to rush it, but it just takes time, and you have to slow down and really try to enjoy it, because if it's not fun, it's not going to be sustainable. I mean, at the end of the day, and especially for guys, one thing to know if you're a guy listening is girls are usually the ones, or women are usually the people that want to dance. They're usually the ones that, but the guys, the leads, usually are the ones that have to put in a lot more work, especially at the beginning, to be able to dance. So like, just know that, if your girl's giving you a hard time, you do have to put in more work than them at the beginning. So just be prepared for that. Yeah.
I love it. Any concluding remarks or things to leave as parting wisdom?
I would say just get out there, find some people that you enjoy hanging out with, and sometimes they're going to say no, and if you want to get into it and just at least get your feet wet and see if it could be something that you want to do, just look at it, Google it, research it. I have a blast doing it. I think it's a great hobby to have, and you can take it with you wherever you go, and you can dance with anybody once you learn it. So it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it seems like such a relevant skill to have,
especially during COVID, when everyone's just like shut up, isolated. It's a great way to get with people.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for talking and sharing. It's been fun. I've kind of gotten to, well, not live it firsthand, because obviously we've been separated by a screen, but hear about it at least. So it's cool to hear the whole story. A synthesized overview of
Thank you so much for the interview. Great questions. Appreciate it.
Great interview. Great responses on your part, and we will catch you next week.
All right. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.